It is so hot today and I'd rather had to do stuff for the university, but I literally cannot focus on the shit that I have to do, so I thought let's get ready and film. I don't know how you see that, but when I look at myself in the mirror, I look like a fucking glazed donut, and that is absolutely what I wanted today. So why am I not wearing eye makeup? Because we are doing a fun video, as you probably should have guessed from the title. We are doing a look with the Isamaya Wildhorse palette, and at the same time, in the later on in the video, we are going to compare, let me just grab them, all three palettes, because I had a conversation on Instagram with someone who asked me basically how that compares to the Wildhorse, and then I was like, I don't have it, and now I have it. So since I haven't used it too, what I will be doing is I will do a look, and then I will swatch the Industrial 1, the Wildhorse, and the Industrial 2, and I don't know, maybe we change the setup a bit because I have no idea where to swatch three palettes, but we can handle that. But let's go into the first portion of the video, which is the look. So I just came a bit closer so you can see what I'm doing and take just one more look at the palette. Like, this is so stunning. But what bothers me the most about Isamaya products is they're so hard to store. She's always doing something outstanding with the packaging, and that's why you end up with something that's just impossible to store in normal, like shelves or whatever you put your makeup in. This has quite a unique color story in my opinion, and as far as I can see, there are also like really matte eyeshadow shades which you don't find in the Industrial 1 and 2. And these two shades also look a bit like they're duochromes. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but in real life they do shift, this one from gold to pink and the other one too, but different depth of gold and pink. But I'm very excited. So we're going into that look without swatching the shades first because I don't know where to put that, so we just make it work. So I'm starting the look with this shade. This is just a like standard bone colored shade, and what I do is I will apply that all over the eyes, and if I read that correct on the back of the palette, this is called Mane. M-A-N-E. The stickers on the back of the Isamaya palettes are sometimes kind of weird to read. I think in the Industrial 1 it's like impossible to read because it's like the upside down from the upside down. This one in the Wildhorse palette I have to really think which shade this is. And Industrial 2 has much better like sticker situation. Those light, like bone colored shades, they are really handy. I use usually a powder on the eyelids before I go in with the makeup, but if a palette has a shade like that, I will always grab to that. So I'm now using this one. This is called Devote. I have no idea. It's D-I-V-O-T. I realized that I struggle a lot with specific shade names from the Isamaya brand. Usually I don't have a lot of problems with English words and pronunciation, but these are like very, very specific names because they always have something to do with the theme of the palette or of the collection. So I have no idea what exactly that is. If I pronounce words in the wrong way, I'm really sorry to bother you. And please also excuse the weird light situation because of the weather and it's so hot I cannot like open the blinds, otherwise the sun would literally set me on fire. I'm now using this dark brown shade which is called Bronco, and I just deepen up the crease and outer V area, and I have to say that these are the first matte powder shades that she has, and they are really good. I really like that. And of course I want to use the black. This is called Stir Up, and I just tap the brush a couple times in there and tap that on the outer V part. Oh, that is not what I wanted to do, but we're winging it just. We can do that. When in doubt, wing it out. Sorry. It is so hot, my brain is literally melting and coming out of my ears. I'm using Stir Up again, the black shade, and go over my lower lash line, all around. And I'm using Bronco to blend that out. I have literally no critique, nothing. Is this the most basic, boring matte eye look? Yes, 100%. But I like it. I really do. Is it because I'm so biased because it's Isamaya? Would I have criticized that in other palettes? I don't know. I'm not too sure because quality, blendability, and like the whole ease of use was just a pleasure. So I'm going into that lilac shade. This is Dressage. And usually I would use a glitter glue, but I learned that with Isamaya shades, there is something special in the formula that basically glues the pigments together by itself. And I can totally agree on that. Like in the Industrial 2, you can literally feel that. So I'm tapping this on top of the black. Now I'm using this bluish shade, which is called Spur. And I also put it on the brush without any glitter glue. And I tap that in the center. And blend it together with the purple. That's awesome. That's really awesome. And now I cannot decide, should I go in with this or that? We want to have some more fun, so I'm using this shade. And this is called Saddle, and I am applying this on the inner part. I'm now wishing that I would have done 2 different eye looks. So let's have some fun with the pink shade, and I'm using this as inner corner highlight, and the shade is called Mare, M-A-R-E. This is such a cool shade, and I know I messed up a bit here, but we're going to fix that. But before that, I'm going into Rodeo with a liner brush. That's a bit more of a thick liner brush, and I coat the complete brush with that. And then I use this to elongate the inner corner highlight, just like that. And bring this as far as the pigment basically goes. And the easiest way to fix that, what happened to me, is to take a spoolie and just rub over it. And then you can basically just flick it off. That works with glitter and metallic eyeshadows. So that's now the finished look without mascara. I really love it. I will put on my mascara now, and then we'll come back and we do the comparison between Wildhorse, Industrial 1 and Industrial 2. And that's now the finished look with mascara. You can always add falsies, but I don't own some because I never wear them. So no falsies, just mascara. Let's talk about this palette from a first impression standpoint. I love it. I said it in the video about the Isamaya 2.0, the Industrial one, too, that she does herself a favor by basically kicking out those putty shades. When we are swatching Industrial 1, you will see what I mean, because they just go on so patchy. And in this palette, she basically introduced like that she also can do normal matte shadows. What I saw when I applied the mascara is that I do have a lot of golden fallout on my eyes, so that's something you can avoid by using glitter glue. And usually, like when I do my looks on a day-to-day basis, I always use glitter glue. I never skip the glitter glue step. I don't understand why the black shade in the center is so big, because you get 2 grams of product in the center and the other pans around are I think 0.7 grams, so it's not even a gram, while you get in the Industrial 1.2 grams per pan. So I don't really understand that decision, but it is what it is. So to make sure that all the swatches are in place, I just put on the glasses so that I can see myself in the viewfinder better, and that I can just show you where I have the swatches on. And I had the idea to swatch here because I think that could be a bit easier. I'm not sure. Could it? The thing is, I do have tattoos everywhere, so they're in the way most of the time. But you know what? Let's just start with Industrial 1. So just take a quick look inside. This is what my Industrial 1 looks like. You can see that I have used it quite some time, and there is definitely some love that this palette has seen. And the whole color story is like very, very dark and vampy. Alright, I decided to swatch it on the underarm, so that might be a bit easier. I really have to coordinate where I put the shades. So these are the first 4 shades, and the second one you can't really see because it's one of those like more glitchy shades with a white base that turns violet in the correct lighting. That silver is to die for. I just realized while touching that in general the formula has changed a lot. So the way these feel while I swatch is not the way the other shades in the other palettes feel. They feel not as high of a quality, to be honest. Oh, again, you can barely see that shade. This shade is one of those wet shades, so it has like a transparent base, but it looks like you put on a liquid. And these are the last two shades in the industrial one. Alright, so here is again every single shade that you have in the industrial one palette. And this shade, these are those putty formulas, and you can especially see it here, like this is the way it also applies on the eye. Very patchy, very hard. So I drove a bit up with my chair, so I will swatch the Wildhorse over here. So we will do neck swatches, is that something? So, but this is Rodeo. And this is where it just basically start and then I go clockwise all around. So these are the first four shades. Oh, these are like the worst swatches ever, but I don't know what else to do. So I hope that's entertaining to you. So now the next four. They look very pretty. And I will do the last four over here. One, ooh. And the black one. So these are the swatches of the Wildhorse palette. And this will go into history as the worst swatch video of all time, but you have to get creative. I mean, I cannot get naked on camera. Like, no. Oh, can I? No, I can't. But I have to admit, just from touching it, there is a distinct difference in the texture between Industrial One and Wildhorse. It's like the quality basically just went up by 100. This is amazing. And now I'm swatching Industrial 2 on my other arm. And if you forgot how Industrial 2 looks, here is a close-up look. Let's do the first four shades. Can you tell how easy they swatch? That's just so impressive. And the next four underneath. These are so fucking pigmented. Like they even cover up the tattoo. And the next four. So pretty. And we have left two shades that I'm going to swatch over here. Oh my god. And that is the complete swatch of Industrial 2. So let's take a look back at Industrial 1, like very dark. We do have some reddish tones, yes. We do have some gold tones, yes. We have browns, we have greens, we have copper. We have the Wildhorse palette over here. And what I can tell that some of the copper shades like this are doubling and the black but in a different texture, because that's a matte, the other one is one of those putty shades. And over here we have Industrial 2, and again, the copper is kind of an ongoing theme throughout all three. But other than that, this is just a lighter version of Industrial 1. So here you have all three, and they all give very different vibes. So as the last part of this video, we're going to compare like some specific shades that do look similar in the pan, but I'm pretty sure they're completely different when you swatch them. So the first two shades that came to my mind are Sweat from Industrial 1 and Mercury from Industrial 2. Both are white based, like glitchy shadows. This is Sweat and this is Mercury, and Sweat has a purple shift while Mercury has a green shift. This is Sweat, but in very, very intense swatches. And this is Mercury. I swatched really hard so you can see the shifts. So the next two that came to my mind are Coprum from Industrial 1 and Chaps from Wildhorse. So this is Coprum and this is Chaps. Oh, yeah, they are very, very similar. Coprum has a warmer red base while Chaps is more of a neutral base brown, but they are very, very similar. So the first two that look quite similar in the pen are Initiator from Industrial 1 and Oxide from Industrial 2, but now Swatch, they couldn't be more different. One is green and the other one is copper, greenish, gold shift multichrome. And last but not least, we have a shade that you have in all three of those palettes. Is like this transparent base, wet, shine, glitter shade. So just purely touch with the finger. There is just a tiny bit of difference. I don't even know if the camera picks it up. So this one is Flash from Industrial 1. This is War from Wildhorse. And this one is Alloy from Industrial 2. So we have Flash, which is just, it's completely transparent. This is War. This has definitely a golden undertone. And this is Alloy. This is also transparent, but you see glitter particles. Pretty hard for the camera to pick up because this is one of the shades that looks the most stunning in direct sunlight or in low light. I compare shades like Alloy always to the fact that you see when the sun is shining in the winter and it's just hitting freshly fallen, frozen up snow. And there you have it. These are, in my opinion, the shades that double in all three palettes. Like, not double, they are the closest to what you could call a dupe. Other than that, if I had to rank them, it's very, very easy. My least favorite out of them all is Industrial 1 because of the putty shades, and I actually have the feeling that the formula in that palette was not at the same level as it is today. Number 2, with any doubt, is Wildhorse. This just knocked me off the socks now from a first impression standpoint, and I am so happy that I have it. And my favorite one, and that is the one that I just have to hold up one more, is the Industrial 2.0. I know, I'm on a low buy. I'm not on a low buy, I'm on a complete no buy. So I would never encourage you to get that. And I heard from a friend, I'm so sorry for you, because we had some very, very in-depth conversation about this palette, and she was like, you know what, when my no buy month is over, I am going to pick this up. And now it is over, and the palette is sold out on Farfetch. And I really hope that gets back in stock because this palette, I have used it now a couple of times, like a lot of times more on my face, and this is the best Isamaya palette. And I would even say this is the palette of the year for me so far. If you have any wishes about the Isamaya palettes and any content that you wish to see from me with the Isamaya palettes, then please let me know down below so that I'm very happy to deliver and that I can work out some of this. And now I'm going to wash myself because I'm glithering all over, and before I touch anything and keep on filming, I just have to remove the glitter bukkake that is all over me now. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.